good Monday morning, everyone. My name is David, and I am your chaplain here at Progressive, and this is this week's Monday's Motivation. The treehouse, the joy of every kid, and the sorrow of every dad that is asked to build one. I love this treehouse because I love my kids. And today, we're going to learn, and we're going to talk about personal leadership and personal management, because I've learned a lot when it comes to building this treehouse. Now, personal leadership helps us to know what we should be doing, and personal management helps us to know how to organize and execute our priorities. So what governs your life? What motivates you to do what you do in your life, in your home, or in your job? Matthew Perman, he calls this our core governing principle. Did you know that God even has a core governing principle? And we actually learned it last week in Matthew 7:12, the golden rule. This is what Jesus said. He said, "So in everything, do to others what you would have them do to you. For this sums up the law and the prophets." Love is the guiding principle of why God does what he does. And everything that we do, whether it's in our home or in our job, all of those areas of our life, everything we do should flow from the same core principle of love. After we understand our core governing principle, then we need to understand our core productivity principle. See, we need to know what is most important, and we put that first. Stephen Covey's quote here is perfect. He said, "Don't prioritize your schedule, schedule your priorities." You see, we must be proactive with our time and with our task. We have to decide what are the more important things and do those first. The house of a treehouse is extremely important, right? The studs for the wall, they're important. Windows to see out of is important. A roof is important. But that may not be the most important thing. Because if I don't build the platform and a foundation that is steady and rock solid, well, it doesn't matter how great and grand the house is going to be if the foundation isn't done first. You see, Covey also has another way of looking at this. He says, suppose you had a jar and you had different sizes of rock and sand that you wanted to get inside of that jar. And your goal is to get all of those things into that jar. How would you do that? Well, you would accomplish that task by putting the largest rocks in first. And then you would continue down to the little small grains of sand. Well, part of personal leadership is being able to make the hard decision to decide of what should be done first and then prioritizing the rest. Maybe you have been feeling a little overwhelmed and maybe you aren't getting what you want accomplished. Well, ask yourself this question. Is this a personal leadership problem or is it a personal management problem? You see, in other words, do I lack the clarity on what I should be doing? That's personal leadership. Or do I lack the clarity in how to organize and execute around those priorities, which would be personal management? In any of these, no one is perfect, and you can grow and you can learn, just like I have learned a lot building this treehouse. So here's the thing I want you to walk away with this morning. We cannot manage ourselves until we can lead ourselves. Well, I hope you guys have a awesome, a safe, and most definitely a productive work week.